So today I want to talk about being comfortable being alone on your own path. And I've been experiencing this over the past 3 weeks of just trying to get my mind right, being the only one that I personally know who's doing what I'm doing. When I say that, I mean going to the gym consistently. I'm specifically talking about the gym here. Um, you know, I talked in another video about how it could be difficult to sort of go it alone, and how you got to eventually get to a point where you're okay not depending on other people, and how I've had problems with that in the past. Like, generally speaking, when you find something that you like, that you feel like is giving you results, you want to include other people, and it makes it easier. Again, I talked about that before. It's a human thing of just wanting to share that, and that camaraderie helping move you through. But I've realized that a lot of the time when you lean on camaraderie, when the camaraderie fades, so do you. And because of that, I've made a very conscious effort to not try to hype anybody else up and get them to come on the journey with me, right? When it comes to working out, I've just told myself, I'm going to do what I got to do, and I'm not going to let anyone else be an excuse for me not doing what I have to. An example of this has been with my own family, right? So my wife is pregnant. I have a 3-year-old daughter. They generally eat pretty healthy, but I'd say 2-3 times a week they want, snacks and desserts and stuff like that. And I've told myself, I'm just not going to do that. I am not going to participate. I'm happy for them to do whatever they want to do and eat however they want to eat. And I'm not suggesting anyone else should do what I'm doing either. I'm not saying you should never have desserts. What I've decided for myself is that I'm going to eat a very specific way, because getting in that rhythm mentally helps me to connect with the work I did in the gym. I feel like that body and the body, mind, and like, you've worked out in the gym and now this is what you're going to eat to fuel it. That's really important to me personally. Now, some people can do it and eat, off of their plan 2 or 3 times and be fine. I'm not that person. When I do that, I follow it up with another meal that's not good for me, and another one. And I do that consistently because I'm most of the time in my life with things that work, I'm an all or nothing, right? With money, either I'm going to save and I'm going to go after a goal, or I'm not going to do it. And so I've just adopted that sort of strategy with things that I think are important because it's worked for me in the past. Now, in doing that, I realize I have to say no to a lot of stuff. I got to say no when my wife and daughter are, they're having birthday cake shakes at Portillo's. Now, I don't even really like shakes like that, but like, it's stuff like that. They're having cookies, they're having whatever, and they're having pizza, stuff like that. I've just gotten comfortable. I'm starting to get more comfortable saying no. And at first, it felt really weird because I almost felt like I was missing out on something, right? Like, I was like, nah, I don't need that, right? But after a while, it's just like, no, it's just not what I'm doing. And I think it's important to share that, because I think a lot of us get in this kind of trap of like, in order to be a part of what's going on, we have to do what everybody else is doing. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think that's true. I think people around you, if they know that you have a goal, can respect you enough to know that just because you're doing your own thing doesn't mean you can't share time with them. But they should also respect the fact that that means you're not going to do everything that they do. Your lives are different. Your goals are different. So like my wife is pregnant and just trying to get through her pregnancy as comfortably as possible while maintaining her health. And she's doing that just fine, eating the way she's eating. For me, I'm trying very specifically to get back in the gym, get back in shape, and put on a certain amount of muscle, build up a little mass, just strength in general, right? That is requiring me to do something different from what she's doing. We are different people with different asks of our body, and that's okay. My 3-year-old, she's not in the gym. She doesn't need to eat like me. Why would she, right? She's perfectly capable of being healthy. She runs around. She's very active. She could have snacks. She could have cake. She could do whatever she wants. And she's probably going to be fine as long as she's not doing it in excess. And just realizing that you can't expect to do what everyone's doing and fulfill all of your own personal goals, I think that's an important distinction to make. You have to come to terms with that. I cannot, like, if in my 20s, for example, when in my early 20s, I remember wanting to work out. And I pushed it off for a while because as a part of the group of friends that we had when we were in the early 20s, we're going out, we're drinking, we're doing stuff. You're just not in a place. Your environment is not such that you're doing things that are conducive to you helping your body. And I let that, not everybody else, no one's fault but mine. I let that determine how I did everything else. I was not capable of segmenting it off and saying, okay, well, I'm going to go out this day, but then I'm going to go back to eating well this day. But it can't, because again, I'm not that kind of person. I want to do it and be fully immersed in it. That's how I feel good about it. I love when I can get out of the gym and then go home and eat something, because I immediately feel like, all right, I'm fueling what I just did, right? I paid the price in here, and now the work that I just did is not going to go to waste because now I'm giving my body the right stuff. And that's what makes me feel good. And I just want to reiterate, everyone's got to find that plan for themselves. Your plan is not going to look anything like anyone else's. And that's another really good reason to not make it about everybody else. This is about you. Your goals are about you. Your plan is about you. When you look in the mirror or you step on the scale, it's about you. So get comfortable with whatever you've given yourself as your plan, but then don't deviate from the plan. Don't let other people dictate what the plan is. If you said you're going to once a week, have something for yourself and that be a treat or whatever it is, stick to once a week. Don't say, oh, because it's so-and-so's birthday, I got to do it, this time, or this, it's a special event. The boys are going out, so I got to do it this time. No. Because that is how we let social pressures and society dictate how we're going to live our lives. And that's why a lot of us never get to our goals. And I'm just proud of myself that even early on, this is still early, but this time I am seeing, and I've noticed progress is coming faster, and it's because I've just been dialed into, this is about me. This is about nobody else but me. Nobody else made me unhealthy. It was me. Nobody else told me to put this food that I'm in my mouth that I did. It was me. And that means it's me that's going to get me back to where I want to be and better. And I'm just proud that I can recognize that. And in the gym, I can channel that into something positive. Because the great thing about it being because of me is that I can get myself out of it. I can get myself to the better place. If I can fuck myself over, I can certainly provide something better for myself, right? So, yeah, not really a specific video topic or anything today, but I just wanted to speak to how it's been going, because I told you all when I was still working at Domino's that, again, it was about almost halfway through the year, and I said I've been doing really, really good towards finance goals, but I have slacked when it comes to my health. Well, that is no longer the case. We are in full force on both of them bitches. We are on the necks of both goals. I will not, in 2025, at the end of this year, look back and say, wow, I really fucked that year away. And that was the last time that I allowed that to happen was 2024. That's the last year I will look back and say, you could have done more. Not this time. Not this time. I have too much, I won't say too much at stake, but too much to live for. Too much positive shit that I have coming up, that if I'm not at my best, I'm throwing it away. So I will not let that be my story. Hopefully, you will not let that be yours. Hope you are all getting to your goals and you are, again, resubmitting or recommitting to that promise that you made yourself in early January when you said, I'm going to change my life for the better. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. I got to get this work. See ya.